urchins, but bigger.
Yeah, I know. So if we've got 1 hour left, we would like to find something to fill our box with. We need to find something that's relatively unique. This Calyptrophora, actually I've collected a couple of these myself, and I'm almost positive this is angularis. It's a lyrate Calyptrophora that it bifurcates after coming out of the main stem, and then stems go upright from that point.
Looks like the tissue is gone from most of the base, though.
Yeah. So these things can get to be absolutely enormous, and they can look like wings sometimes, and other times they look kind of this kind of shape.
So, given what you just said, does that mean you want to collect this one?
No, I don't want to collect this one, but I'm pondering the unbranched primnoid, because we have something like that from the Northwest Hawaiian Islands, and we might have gotten it here in Johnston too. I just can't remember.
Oh, thank you, video.
Yeah, and we did collect a couple Walteria from Johnston in 2015, as I recall. We still got time to find something different and give your larger urchin a chance to show up.
Well, at this point, I'm going to go with whatever. I mean, an urchin, a weird urchin we've never seen before would be interesting, but obviously anything that meets the criteria for collection at this point would be good.
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, it's
a sea star.
Woohoo!
You know what, Pilot? Okay.
Oh,
this could be a twofer, because I was just talking about the possibility of getting the primnoid, and it's got a sea star on it too. I wonder if we can put that out to the group. I mean, are you even interested in the sea star, Chris?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't.
Port Inner, I think, is the only one with a sample right now.
Correct. What do you folks feel about this? It's these unbranched primnoids. The only one I know about is Norella hawaiiensis. And I'm a little concerned that we're going to run out of time here and we've got an empty box. I always like 2 biologics and 2 rocks. Nolan thinks it looks pretty interesting. Asako or Scott, any of you have an opinion on this? We can obviously wait.
I did not plan this.
Yeah, let's see. Scott may not be participating right in real time now. But I mean, we got a sponge with a black coral, and this is another chance to get 2 animals with one grab.
What's intriguing about
this
is
that, they're on a fish, synaptobranchid eel. He's gone already. He was booking.
Well, what's interesting about this is...
all right, come on in, video.
Yeah. It's just...
Hydraulics are up, ready when you are.
Roger.
Well, it's feeding on a primnoid for one thing.
Oh, yeah, no. It looks like a pasturine.
Change ship.
Sure, it might be a juvenile.
2310, so feel free to turn.
Oh, wow.
Slightly starboard if you want.
Yeah, it looks like, well, like I was just saying, it's difficult to say whether or not a smaller individual is an adult or juvenile of another species.
Ship stopped, but you'll probably have 2 more minutes.
I'm all for this. If you're
well, it's
for it.
It's Norella. It's unbranched. I'm just checking with the event log. It looks like people are supporting the collection. Asako Matsumoto, Nolan Bryant, Bruce Mundy. They all support this because they can see the value in this. Yeah. It's an unusual primnoid, and we've got a sea star on it.
Man, look at the papilla. The gills on the on the top it's fat and happy.
And this is also a pretty easy collection because it's just one snip on the branch down there.
All right, let's frame it up.
Famous last words. Sorry, shouldn't have said that.
That's full wide?
Yeah, copy that.
Yeah, Nav, go ahead, please.
Zoom in on this real quick. All right, come on out.
It's...
we can go starboard.
Well, it's on port, and I do believe it's port inner, Nav.
Is there anything starboard?
Nothing starboard.
Then we'll go to starboard.
It could. I don't think it'll float, but the sponge was pretty light when we grabbed it, and the other pieces blew off, and so we got So yeah, if we could go starboard, that would be preferable. Thank you. Appreciate it, you checking on that too.
Let's see. So this is, well, that was 10 centimeters. So this is only about that big.
Yeah, Norella unbranched.
You want me to use this over here or not?
Sea
No,
star.
I'll be right.
Okay.
I'm almost positive it's Norella
Tracking
because
on
the
vehicles
polyps
seems
are
to be
all
better
closed
now.
up, maybe as a response to the sea star. And Norella is very distinctive because they all close down the stem, and you could clearly see that.
Oh, nice.
This guy's annoying me. All right.
So 10 centimeters. So that big, Chris? Is that, you think
Maybe, yeah, like
that's about right?
something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a small Hypsteria something, maybe.
Maybe the.
Force steering lock.
He's got it.
Would you like me to start?
Whoa!
Whoa. Sorry, my arm went wild there.
I
My
I
heart
thought-
just stopped.
I thought that was just for show. You're gonna like you were holstering your gun or something.
Yeah, I don't know why that did that. All right, when you're ready, we can open the box.
Shows you the sea star's got a pretty good
Extending
grip
now.
on that coral.
Keep an eye on that port
It's got good
side.
motivation.
Yeah.
I see it rubbing a little bit.
What do you, the rock?
Yeah.
In the drawer?
On the left side, yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Just, you can leave it there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Right, clear.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Josh. That's
Nice
perfect.
pilot.
Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome.
Well done.
Excellent.
All right.
I don't know what was going on with the jaw there.
Saw that.
I like came out of
Continuous.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. It's been acting a little weird. All right.
Did you say that was Norella?
It's an Arella, yeah. Like, I know Steve was
All right,
hoping
I'm gonna
we
push out
collect
here,
some more
and then do you
primnoids
wanna-
too, so that kind of
You want to fly for the rest of this, Levi?
Sure, we really
Sure.
got
You
any
flown today?
primnoids this
Not
cruise.
today, no.
Okay.
We really got to try to keep a list of everything
You've done a lot
we've
of
collected and try
work in current.
I'm
not a lot, no.
win-win.
to. Well,
Sure.
that was a win-win right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That was obvious. We've got a dominant species here that we need to confirm. They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, it just happened to find one toward the end that had a sea
Yeah,
star
you
on
Oh,
it.
yeah. Here's
Yeah.
a stock crinoid.
Oh yeah, I wonder if we could get a
Good.
look at this.
Yeah.
Sure.
This is similar, I think, to the other one that we saw earlier today.
All right, come on in video.
You saw one of these today?
Yeah. It's not, I don't know if it's a hyocrinid, but
Looks
it
like
has the same.
Bathycrinus.
Oh, yeah. It does have the. So these are the stocked version of the feather stars we saw earlier. This one's interesting because the stock has stuff growing on it, including hydroids, and it looks like a sea anemone.
Hydraulics disabled.
Here's the mouth, or more precisely, where all the mouth and all of the kind of the viscera of the animal reside, which is in this cup. that little pyramid
So-
that you see sort of protruding is likely the anus, where after it's fed, it has sort of
So
a
in high
chimney
current, it's going to want
where it can eject all of
head into
the
it. It's going to want to twist
nasty
it.
bits
Yeah.
into the water, away from the mouth.
It's kind of nice in that you can find
Oh wow, that's
just
lovely.
just the
Video.
right
It's
amount
beautiful. I love
of
crying.
thrust, and you can stay stationary. So you just maintain thrust, and it's pretty good. But you got to keep an eye on your manip cams because you can drift in and out really quick. So those will tell you, you know, I have it centered up here, and I'm using my manips to sort of tell me how I'm moving relative to it.
Yeah.
So I'm not even looking
I've always
really
never,
at the
I've
main
never
HC.
understood what's
Yeah, I
going
found
on with
myself
the stocks. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought
Keep it
echinoderms
centered.
Use
were
your
covered
peripherals
with
to- yeah.
tissue, so the fact that there's stuff growing on them would suggest that either the
So-
tissue is gone or something else is going on. We're done. I'm happy when you're done.
Hey, come on, what?
Thank you.
So, Josh, the current's still coming from the north. Is that correct? It looks like it.
Yeah, almost straight out of the north.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty strong, isn't it? It certainly looks like it.
It certainly is. Not super strong, but it's a good current. It's definitely a strong current.
Okay, thank
I
you.
think I'm lined up uphill at
Now,
310.
now towards like the end of the
310
drive, we'll
copy.
get, like, the
That's
really abundant,
what I'm looking
super
towards for
diverse
the next move.
part of the.
Sounds good.
Well, I mean, it's been a good dive. We got a lot of animals here.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty pleased.
Oh,
It's
I
been
know.
patchy, you know, where we get the kind of this area where there's a fairly high density of animals, and then we have our barren patches we've gone through.
We're back to the barnacle thing again. Oh, there's a.
What
Oh no,
is?
it's a pit. Okay, never mind. No, all of these sort of yellow streams along the edge. There's more of those barnacle trails again, which always, to me, is a source of curiosity.
So it looks like Levi and Josh are going to switch seats here. We'll give them just a minute to get settled in.
Yeah, Chris, I'm going to go give Levi a chance to get some experience in a moderate current.
Roger that, Josh. That's
All right, Pat. So whenever you're ready and settled, I'd like to move the ship 30 meters at
Did
310.
the current pick up here, or is it
I'll call
less
it in.
than what we were looking at before?
Sounds good.
well, when we first got down, the current was strong, but from the south direction, and then maybe it kind of died out a little bit, and then it switched to the north, and now it's fairly strong from the north. You can see how
This
fast
is
these
Bridge.
barnacles
Go ahead.
are coming by.
Oh, I'm just wondering,
Yes, sir.
again, my little pet idea that the current might have been affecting how certain other animals might.
Range 30
settling
meters,
out on the
bearing
corals.
310 degrees, speed 0.
Is that a
decimal two.
base in the background
Coming up.
there, or is that a sea star?
We're
Base.
headed
Oh, you
that
mean
way.
up
Oh
there?
yeah,
Oh,
way up there.
could be a sea star.
Another
Could be
Henricia,
another
maybe.
maybe.
Yeah. Oh, there's another Henricia right there,
Where?
right below us,
Oh,
next
well,
to
wonder
that.
we could do a snap zoom. Probably, I
Yeah.
don't know. If that was possible.
Yeah, I can.
He's
Grab that
below
real quick.
right corner. Yeah, it was a sea star that's.
Yeah, it's white, right at the base
Right
of
there.
this sponge.
There it is.
Yeah.
Copy. Coming in for it.
Sponge is kind of weird too. So
All right, video can frame this up.
ROV nav, move initiated.
oh yeah, it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, except that it's precariously close to. I mean, these bamboo corals, but my guess is that it's probably there to.
These are primnoids. Those two
Yeah.
close to it.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
primnoids rather. Yeah, so it could be feeding on these little spherical
See how it's like
sponges, or
turning
it
you?
could be preparing to
Kicking
feed
you
on that
around.
big one.
Yeah.
you get a sense by where the direction
Yeah,
the
there's-
tether's
so
going,
oh,
and that's
Yeah, we can move on to the next one
Yeah.
Okay, video when you're clear.
Thank you, Levi.
when you're done.
see a difference in that turbocharger sponge, Matt, since you saw the specimen as well. It's so it may just be morphological. Yeah, I think we're gonna head that up that way. It's maybe morphological plasticity in the species, or it could be something a little bit different.
Yeah.
Well, this is where all the Henricia are hanging out, isn't it?
Yeah, well, something.
That might be a
something's making
large
them
urchin on the far
real
right of
big,
the screen.
'cause-
Yeah, those are good sized ones.
right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll head that
Oh wow!
way.
Look
video.
at that one. Look at that purple urchin
Which
across
one?
the way there.
Yeah.
Where?
Over here.
You see on the other side, there's a
Coming to center.
massive purple. It is an urchin,
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
it?
you're right. It's that
Tromocosoma.
How can we say that so fast?
Because I've heard people say it, so
Oh,
I know how it's
okay.
pronounced.
That's good.
Can we shine lasers and see how big it is?
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
You can frame it up as I approach.
So I think the third one of these, the
Yeah.
ones that we've seen today.
Wow, that thing's 10 centimeters across. Wow, that's a nice one. So again, this is Tromocosoma. This is an Okeanos third urchin. Sometimes they go by tam o'shanter urchins. Again, we can see a very nice shot of how the spines around the edge, the ones directed towards the bottom, have these kind of tips, the white tips that they use to walk around on. These are sort of interesting in that they've developed this modification that their spines actually provide them some.
Excuse me, upper left, please. Right there.
Oh,
There
the
it
little-
is, and zoom in on
Oh,
the little
yeah.
guy,
The little white.
Get
the
it more
little
zoom.
white thing.
Yeah.
It's another one of your weird brittle
Oh
stars.
yeah, let's. Ooh. Oh yeah.
Matt,
Ooh.
by the way, Matt spotted that.
Yeah, like Matt gets a kudos for the
Go ahead
day.
and zoom out to keep it in view.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to get closer video so I don't lose it. It's very small.
Yes. So this is something we saw right at the tail end
Yeah, if you
of
can get
yesterday's
super
dive.
close to it, because
Let's
we
wait
didn't
till
get
we
a
can
nice.
get a closer zoom
Last
on
time
it
we didn't
and
get a
see-
nice zoom on it.
Pick zoom.
Yeah. Oh.
That's a better view of
Yeah.
him maybe today.
So this is what's called Astrophiura.
You probably put your right
and
toe down.
This, up until yesterday, I
Mhm.
don't think this had ever been seen alive in situ before.
That's max zoom.
I had always thought
Okay.
that these lived flush on the surface of, like, wood, because a lot of sea stars essentially look like this. But you'll notice the difference in the morphology. The arms are really, really small.
You want me to
They're
take
really
your tilt?
reduced. They
Yeah.
almost look like they're broken off. But in
I'll
fact,
try to get more stable
that's
here.
just as they're just really short. And the disc is extremely sort of large and developed. And so this is a brittle star. It's a very highly modified brittle star. And it apparently lives flush right on the surface of this rock, of this rocky surface. They've been seen alive. People have recovered them alive. People have seen pictures of them, within the original color, but I don't think we've ever seen one actually alive in its original habitat. So we don't know what they do or how they live. Conceivably, these are feeding on whatever types of small microbial life might be on the surface of the rock here. But these are, to give people a general sense of scale, these are generally between nickel and quarter size. They're really tiny. And I think this is one of the best parts of deep sea exploration is looking at in an unexpected place and finding something that you just didn't think you were going to see that day. So today we've been able to see this for the second time at great depth. So that's really something. So my thanks to Matt and to Chris who saw it.
Yeah, it was Matt.
Matt
saw it.
Wow,
And
okay.
he actually pointed to the screen at me. And
I nearly thought that was a little pool of sediment. So thank
Okay,
you.
video and you're clear. Sorry for the unsteady shot.
No,
Oh,
it's
that's
all
fine. I
good.
think that's a
Do we
better
still
shot
have
than we
time
had
for the
yesterday.
urchin?
I mean, they're good.
I
They're
think
still
it
both
actually
really great.
fell down.
Yeah,
took
I
a-
saw
Oh,
the
the
urchin
urchin
float down
took a run.
underneath D2.
what happened to the urchin?
He ran away.
Are we
got
now?
scared.
Did he actually fall off the ledge?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just saw him float straight
that him
down.
upside down?
He's probably just
No.
down
Where'd he
slope
go?
somewhere.
Maybe he took a ride with the current.
Wow.
That's okay. We'll get him next
All
time.
types of good rocks down
Yeah.
there. got two already.
Oh, I've seen urchins turn themselves over from worse than that, so I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, there's a big white sea star on the left side at the end there. I think it was a repeat of the one that we saw earlier, but I think it was bigger.
Yeah, way over here on the left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, where'd it go? That
Yeah,
purple urchin
I
just
know.
really...
Yeah, he really must have rode with the current, I believe.
Is this the same thing?
I don't know.
It doesn't quite look right, does it? Maybe it's
I
well
think it's
fed or
just.
something.
I think it's just the angle.
On a
But,
rock or
yeah,
something.
let's
Can
take a look.
frame it up video as I approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Henricia.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's enough to identify.
Copy.
Thank you.
All right, video. When you're clear, we'll keep searching.
Okay. Video pulling out.
All right.
Is that another white sea star to the right of it? A
Yeah.
different one?
Oh,
See
yeah.
that?
Little guy?
Yeah. As long
Video-
as we're here.
Yeah, video with snap on. Small subject.
Baby Henry ship?
Yeah, it's another Henricia, a small one. Huh, yeah. Yeah, I think it is. Huh. Interesting. They might be settling here. Maybe there's something that attracts the larva. At least I think that's Henricia.
Well,
Anyway.
it's kinda, yeah.
It does. It has a slightly different surface texture.
Yeah,
but,
it does. I was just looking at that.
well, it's a mystery for another time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you.
All right,
appreciate
video.
it.
When you're clear. Pretty small guy.
Wow.
Are the dark spots on the ends of the arms photoreceptors?
Yeah, that's usually where the ocelli are located. Ocelli is the name for the quote-unquote eye or photoreceptor in these. It varies in color from what I've seen in different species. I'm not sure necessarily what that means, but they're probably not terribly. They're not well developed in deep sea species, most likely. I think I've read some papers by Craig Young that have shown in different sort of comparative species in shallow versus deep water that the ocelli do vary somewhat relative to the habitat they're used to living in.
Yeah, I know in fishes this depth, the eyes are large in some of the species, like the cutthroat eels and the grenadiers, and they're more sensitive to light in the sort of greenish or blue-green spectrum for bioluminescence, but they're not really good for forming images. Is there any information about the sensitivity of the
The there's-
photoreceptors, rather, on the sea stars?
sort of.
Types of light?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely photosensory. From what I've read,
Next move, maybe a little
there
more
are
port.
some sea stars
Yeah,
that
I
can
think maybe
actually, in the
290,
shallows,
yeah,
like a
next
Canthaster and I think Lynchia,
Sirius
they can
might have
actually
about
make out
maybe
kind
a
of
minute of swing left,
actual
maybe two.
images. But I don't know how common that is across
Can really see the
other sea stars,
current
especially
more
at
of those
this
colonies.
depth, because these don't really. I don't think these really need. The reason that the ones at shallow have those abilities are largely because of how they forage, and I don't think these feed in the same way, and they're an entirely different group. So, it wouldn't surprise me at all if these were essentially just chemosensory with, at best sensitivity to light, if even that. So, but who knows? Sea stars are always surprising.
Probably call the next move in, maybe
Copy.
290.
I'll put in 30 meters, 290.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, please. I'm happy to compare anytime.
The bridge, go ahead.
Ready for another move?
Yes, sir.
30 meters at 290 degrees.
So this is Chris Ma from the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History, and my colleague.
Range 30 meters, bearing 290, speed
And the guy who
0.2.
spotted that creature
Coming up.
was
Hey, this is Matt Dornbach, and I am part of NOAA's National Centers for Environmental Information, and I help out with the Deep Sea Coral Program.
And that was just a very great example of what I love about deep sea exploration is you're just kind of strolling along and you're kind of doing I guess what I dare say is your day-to-day exploration and seeing the things that you would expect to see, and then boom, out of nowhere, you get something that is totally unexpected, and that 5 minutes of excitement just makes your day because you found something that was just not what you were expecting to see that day. So.
So I just checked with Nav, and we got a half an hour left in the dive, and I want to remind everybody that we are going to have a pre-dive.
Correct. New ship bearing
post-dive
290.
pre-dive for tomorrow, right after we take off from the bottom here, and we are going to be diving on a seamount that was just newly mapped last night, so nobody's seen this data before. Nobody's had a chance to weigh in on it. We're into that part of the cruise plan where we're diving on seamounts that have never been mapped before. So if you want to take a look at the amazing mapping data that was acquired last night by our mapping crew, Mashkur Malik.
Hold on just a moment. Chris, if you would.
What? Yeah, I'm on. That's you. You're not. Yeah.
Oh no, that's fine. Never mind. I thought I saw his.
Anyway, if you would like to tune in and see what type of feature we're going to dive on and weigh in on the actual dive plan, then please do hang on the line. We're going to get Mashkur into the room as quickly as we can after they take off, because we know some of you are on the East Coast and it's pretty late for you, and so that's the plan. In 30 minutes, that would be around about 3:25 Hawaii Standard Time. So I guess that's my only announcement. A little bit later on, maybe in another 15 minutes, we'll go ahead and do a post-dive on this, just wrapping it up on our last few minutes so we can move right into the planning, because we've got to pick a site. We have no dots for this seamount yet that we're going to dive on tomorrow. There's another corallium up there, and more of these unbranched primnoids. These are probably Candidella, so it's a different type of unbranched primnoid. Still got a nice density of these kind of whip corals here, mixed in with a few fans. Beautiful pillow formations that we're looking on, manganese-crusted pillows to the right of the screen. A couple chrysogorgid colonies sticking out the top of these. Kind of a weird little pillow mound here that's in front of us.
Starting to see some Bolosoma, I think. Were we seeing those today?
I don't know. Maybe we could take a zoom on that white ball-shaped coral. Or sponge, sorry.
Maybe you can frame it up, do a snap zoom.
See, I don't remember any Bolosoma.
Is that it?
That's what it is. It's Bolosoma, right? You nailed it.
Huh.
Way to go. Now, this is a stalked glass sponge in the family Euplectellidae.
We zoom serious.
Do you need a closer look at this?
No, we're good, thank you.
All right.
No, there's a squid.
squid between us.
Yeah, you could probably get it.
See, that's another.
Can you come on
prim
in
nod
my
below
Zeus? Yes. Looks like it's floating pretty quickly.
What's
away.
that?
What's that?
Oh, it's a squid.
Where? Where is it?
Oh, near the tether.
Between the two vehicles.
It's got big fins.
So
It's on stream 2, is that right?
Yeah. Yep, he's going back down. Come out a little bit.
Where is it? Can't see it.
I think the D2 is coming around to try and take a look.
Tempting, yeah.
Yeah, come wide on Sirius.
Yeah, I lost him on Sirius. Do you see him?
Yeah, keep turning. Alright, just go out.
Oh, there we go.
Oh.
There he is.
Frame it up.
Oh, talk about unexpected.
Oh, wow, Seamounts.
ROV nav, move
I think
complete.
that's what it's called. I gotta go
Oh,
look it
wow. So,
It's-
everyone,
up. Wow.
this is a cirrate octopod that I believe Chris Kelly has just told me is called Seamounts. Is that right?
That's correct.
We're probably going to have to wait till one of our cephalopod colleagues can verify, but this is a really great observation. Haven't seen any cephalopods, I think, directly since we began the expedition. And this is a really nice one.
Yeah, my guess is it's Seamounts. I'm not absolutely certain. He's
But
way up there, and I
Good.
don't.
Zoom in now.
Usually don't see
Hold.
Grimpateuthis this far up.
But it's an octopod, right?
Oh, yeah,
One,
it's
two,
def-
three.
it's-
yeah.
Yeah, it's a finned octopus, is what
Yeah.
they're called. He's got his fins laying flat against his head, I think. Thought I saw him earlier.
Come out
when we were
to keep him
zooming
in view as I come out of tether. Yeah. Sorry, Josh.
It's alright.
I'm looking that guy up right now.
Yeah. If I remember, are these the ones that like puff up into big balloons if they're threatened?
Seamounts, maybe.
Take zoom if you
it's
got
a
it. Yeah, the current's taking my prop wash down with it.
Well, it's either a Grimpateuthidea or a Cerateuthidea, I guess.
Pretty much all you got.
Is Mike
Yeah.
Ford still on? He's not on right now. Yes, he's in the event log.
Alright, he's out of there.
Boy, Mike, if you
Yeah, Vita, come on.
if you see this thing,
It's kind of an awkward chase downhill.
Current took him too fast.
So this is what what I was saying all again. It's like all day you're looking at corals, and then boom, 5 minutes you're looking at some rare echinoderms, and then boom, 5 minutes later there's an octopod that just pops out of nowhere.
just putting them as in the annotations of one or the other. I don't know what other types.
Did it get away from us? Oh well.
I don't know what other types of octopods.
Well, Scott wonders it might be a vampiroteuthid. Vampiromorph.
Vampiroteuthid.
Vampiroteuthis. It would be a
Yeah.
vampiromorph or morphus or something.
I don't think so, Scott. But I don't. I think they got vampir. Well, Vampiroteuthis is a squid, not an octopus, and I could swear I saw the fins. Did you?
Well, they're neither. I don't think, are they?
Well, I mean, this is a vampire. Well,
Oh, that's
no,
Mastigia.
it's-
Yeah.
that's
No, I mean they're
Mastigia.
they're not. They're
Alright,
neither.
you're at 260.
They're neither squid.
Yeah,
nor
we were
octopus.
looking at
290.
290, but we can
I
adjust.
don't know where they
Definitely
decide
had
this.
the
All right, so we're in
the
trouble
fins like
here
a Dumbo.
on the
They're,
ID.
they're usually pelagic things,
So you're looking-
so that might not.
290 still looks pretty good.
So Chris, it definitely had the fins,
It did have the fins.
the swimming fins, because I saw that from the Sirius view.
Oh, all right. So it did have fins. So it
Maybe
most
like
likely was a
280.
fin
How do you feel about that, pilot?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, ready
Well,
for
Yeah, thank
you
you.
to put it in?
Josh, I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
let's do it.
30 meters, 280.
This is the bridge. Go ahead.
Ready for another move?
Yes, sir.
30 meters at 280 degrees at 0.2 knots.
the midwater
range bearing
Wow.
stuff's up in there. You got to get to it.
Well,
Oh, just any
There's
opposite.
this much current, you just got to get to it quick. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
'cause it's going to be
it's
gone
going to be gone.
so quickly.
I wonder if
Yeah.
we could. I don't know if you could get
Yeah,
over
there's
there.
on the left. There's a whip with a white mound on it. If
Oh,
we
yeah.
might veer over and
It's
take a look, please.
we're headed that way.
Ah, lovely.
Can't reach there quite yet, but
Ah, very good. Thank
we
you.
will be there. Yep.
But you can get some really, really nice shots
There's
when
some
it's up in
stumps
the water
behind
column
it.
like that.
Yeah.
That's maybe
They can
what it is.
crush the
I get
blacks
the
in the
impression
back,
that
and
there's
it's
a mound.
Okay.
really nice.
Oh, it's to the squid's. Something is swimming to our right.
Arnie,
It's a
ROV
fish.
nav.
Oh, it's a
Movie
Oh,
replay.
it's a replay.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a replay.
Instant
Never mind.
replay.
Yeah, sorry. Got it.
Could I
I
take a
thought.
look at that, Bob, real quick?
Let's look at that. I think there's a. Oh, is it a base? There's a white, awkwardly shaped
Here, let's snap
mound.
on
Yeah, it's a base. Oh well.
old base. Copy.
There's an Iridogorgia in the background. Those are pretty. They kind of petered out for a while, and then we got one back.
Oh yeah, that's right. Haven't seen one for a short period.
A lot of Chrysogorgia, they look so similar to the typical Chrysogorgia geniculata. It's something that hard to say whether they're anything different.
Let's look at this. I think it's a sea cucumber, but let's
Yeah,
just
let's-
snap zoom and make sure.
Yeah, snap on.
Thank you.
Yep.
That's another representative of, I think we were calling it Hansenothuria, a synallactid sea cucumber. You'll notice around the head end that the sediment that is present all over the surface is gone. And that's because they've been eating it. They love eating goo, and they kind of ingest all of it. You can see it in the through the transparent body in the intestine. They're important for the ecology because they can transform the microbial faunas or the floras, and among other things. Anyway, we can move on. Thank you.
All right, ready? We clear?
All right, pilots and watch leads. We have about 15 minutes left in the dive.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I was trying to look some things up on the iPad there momentarily. So let's do a little wrap here, Chris. You want to go ahead and start and tell us about what we saw today?
Sure. Today's habitat seemed to be relatively abundant.
Check at me.
Region dominated by largely sessile corals or octocorals. We saw a lot of these whips. These were these bamboo corals, or were these were
Mixture.
a mixture?
Some bamboo,
Yeah.
some.
We've seen a variety of chrysogorgiids, a lot of these skeletal remains of Walteria sponges. Earlier on, we saw a bunch of living Walteria sponges. For the most part, a lot of what we've seen has been fairly steady throughout, with regional abundances are increasing and decreasing. A lot of bamboo corals, a lot of the sort of regularly seen kinds of colonial octocorals, with some exceptions here at the end,
two-thirds of the way through the current moon.
some nice echinoderms feeding
So the
on,
cirrus
on corals,
probably hasn't
and
started to swing yet.
several sea urchins, and as well as sea cucumbers feeding on the goo that's on the bottom. Several fishes as well. I think that's pretty much a nutshell.
Yes.
I'm sure I forgot something.
So we were hoping to see a lot higher density today, and we did compared to yesterday. I'm beginning to think that here, at least in Johnston, that a good orientation for a ridge is more east-west or southeast-northwest based on the currents coming
That actually
from the
completed the last
north
move there,
and
pilot.
southwest. At least they were today.
Sonar's
and
look
at
pretty
another
clear ahead.
location.
I could put another one in for you
So,
if you want. Stack it on.
This orientation
Great.
of the
I'll keep,
ridges, I think,
same
is quite
heading.
important, and so we're taking note of that.
280.
But this is a very consolidated ridge. It's obviously swept. There's not much sedimentation on it. It's in a depth that we found a lot of these animals or corals and sponges before. So you never know until you get down there, but certainly we're getting more and more information that supports that
Range 30
ridges
meters,
are a
bearing
type of
280,
topography
speed
that's
0
conducive
decimal
to the development of pretty nice communities. And that's something to really know and to really pay attention to. What's your white blob over there, Chris? Is that just... Oh, it's another one of those sponges. Never mind. I keep trying to... But that's kind of it. Chris sort of gave a wrap-up on all the different types of animals we've seen. From the sponges, we saw a lot of Walteria, and a lot of them dead, too. We saw
There's
the weird
that purple urchin again. We
turbocharger.
can maybe try and get a nice image of it.
Twofer.
Yeah, double prizes here.
ROV nav, move initiated.
What's the other one? Oh, I see. Side by side.
What kind of sea star? Oh, probably another predatory hippasterine. So here's again the Tromachosoma, the purple urchin that we've been seeing. That
So frame it up as I
yeah, and
arrive.
what is this? Oh, this is nice. Oh, okay. So this looks like Hippasteria. This might be the large form of the thing that we just collected. So this is the sea urchin, Tromachosoma. Smaller one than the one we saw. They get quite large. The one we just saw a little while ago was at least 10 centimeters across. But you can see again the walking legs with the little white tips on them, and they use those to walk across the bottom like little shoes, little sea urchin shoes. There's a lot of detail that you can make out from an image like this, but essentially these are very thin. The skeletons are very thin, and the spines are very sharp. So for deep sea animals, they're surprisingly difficult to work with. And then over to the side there, further along, just before we came in on the sea urchin, was an orange sea star, and that's most likely in the genus Hippasteria. These are coral predators. These are things that we were really expecting to see quite a bit more of. I think this is in the genus Hippasteria, or the species Hippasteria muscipula. Conceivably, it might even be something else, depending on what we get from the specimen we collected today. You can see all of these orange kind of
Try video.
these lip-like things that are on the surface. They look like sort of hot dog buns on the surface. Those are called pedicelaria, and they're frequently used in a number of different ways, not all of which are clear, but possibly to aid in feeding or possibly as defense. But you can see it's bristling with spines.
Go back here, rotate me down a bunch.
These are often found crawling up corals and everting their tube feet onto the surface of the coral, digesting all of the tissue. They're fairly voracious predators of corals, and you can often see them preying on bamboo corals and primnoids and all manner of species.
Yeah, if we could hold this for a
sometimes
second,
climbing
that'd
all
be
the way
great.
to the top and
Holiness.
just hanging off of them as their stomachs digest the tissue. And when they're done, they just sort of wait there until they're hungry again, and then they continue to work their way across the coral skeleton. feeding on them until the animal's essentially nothing but bare skeleton. Wow. This is almost like having it in my hand. That's wonderful. Thank you. But you can see there are spines along the marginal plates. Around the marginal plates are what make up the periphery around the edge. Again, there's all of these hot dog-shaped things that are the pedestal area.
Yeah.
There's spines, which are sort of self-evident.
Video's happy.
There's
Thank you,
all
pilot.
of these white pocketings that are the papilla or gills. That's how they breathe. And you're seeing the tube feet emerge from the tips of each arm. Anyway, thank you.
Oh, take my rotator back. Rotate you up a little bit.
Oh, that's a barnacle shell, I think. This might explain that sea star might also explain why, for example, we have a coral that looks like this, where you'll notice the majority of the stalk is bare, except for the tip, which is the only place that has any tissue left on it.
Yeah, so pilot, there's kind of an elongate columnar colony there to the left. I don't think it's Walteria. Maybe I'm wrong, but and if you sort of about 1/3 in, slightly up from left.
With some
Is that a
associates
coral
on it? Or?
Well, oh, it's a dead Walteria. Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Okay.
Thought we were seeing a very columnar.
Chris, is
Go ahead, Scott.
that yellow thing another overgrown zoanthid?
Oh, yeah. So Scott was pointing out behind this planar coral to the right, there's a yellower
Yellow.
one.
Okay.
And Chris Ma, I have a question for you. So I was kind of watching the video earlier, and I wasn't able to be on the chat room or to hear you.
Sure.
And you collected that primnoid that had the sea star on it. But
That was Chris's call.
Ready, let's snap on this guy real quick.
So what do you make of that?
I'm sorry, what was that? I didn't hear you.
I think he was noting that it was feeding on a primnoid.
Yes. I mean,
ROV nav.
What I saw was that it looked like you collected a primnoid that had a sea star on it. I
Yes.
presumed a predator, but there was no evidence that the polyps below it had been eaten. Or was I just not seeing it well?
that's a good point. To be honest, I think I would really have to go back and review the video, to be honest. I did not actually make the call to collect it.
Right? So you can look at it, but what I saw was there was no evidence of predation on that colony, and yet the sea star was halfway up, so I was really quite surprised by that.
You know, it's possible
Maybe
that...
you didn't say anything about it, maybe you didn't notice,
Sure.
but I was
He's-
interested to hear from you tomorrow on that.
Yeah, he's right, Scott. I mean, he's right, Chris. I noted that too, but it just didn't register to comment
Yeah.
on it. They were all closed, the
Video
polyps,
nuclear.
but they
Yeah,
weren't
got this
missing.
before.
Yeah. You know, it's possible, Scott,
Okay,
that what
just
they
one
do
second.
is they,
Yeah.
they climb up
Hold it.
first and then start from the top and move down. And the
Well, I haven't seen that
I don't
before.
know.
Your comment just now was there's a
All
pair
right,
of skeleton
I'm just gonna
only
get a
polyps
specimen
left
of
at the top.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Oh.
For my observation,
yeah.
they start from below and eat up.
Well, that's a very good point, Scott.
Sorry to call you out on that. I thought maybe I missed something when I had the audio off before.
I mean, it may not even be that orderly. I don't know. It could just depend on the type of colony. Or it could have been that the colony we just saw wasn't fed upon
Thanks,
by
man.
Thanks,
a
pilot.
sea star.
That's full wide.
I mean,
Perfect.
I'd have to double check on exactly on the specimen that we actually collected because it happened. Frankly, it happened so quickly. I didn't actually note how much of it was there because I think part of the bottom. No, I think
Pilots,
part of the
5
bottom might
minutes
have
left.
been denuded.
I
but
could put another
but
move,
most
but
of
you
it was
probably
still
won't feel
there.
it.
I agree.
I think we're good here. I got a
Right,
place
and
I can explore
unfortunately,
yet. So.
the colony you collected
Thanks, John.
always is lacking polyps at the very bottom, at the bottom quarter to a third. But I didn't notice any predation, and I was really surprised by that, and I wondered, why did that sea star climb so high without doing any feeding? Anyway, interesting observations.
Oh no, well,
Questions and answers as usual.
there's a lot of sort of morphological features that I find associated with sea stars that feed on those. So, for example, the spines in the pedicelaria are almost invariably present, regardless of whether it's Hipposteria and Calliaster both have a lot of spines and pedicelaria when they devour these things. Cerciaster has pedicelaria, but doesn't have the spines, but they might feed in a slightly different manner. So it could be that there's a strategy or there's some other kind of sort of ecological interaction at play. When we were watching Hipposteria muscipula, we saw all the pedicelaria opening and closing while it was devouring that hexacorallium, for example. And it wasn't clear to me exactly what they used them for, whether they used them to perhaps deflect or, counter-attack the polyps on the animal. There's a lot there that I've never actually seen in terms of like the blow-by-blow fight.
Yeah.
So, there's definitely more to be learned about those in terms of like the precise nature of the interactions.
Oh, look at this whip in front of us.
It's quite the colony.
That's quite a colony. Thought we'd pass by it on the end of the dive here just because that was impressive. That's probably one of the biggest whips we've seen today, a bamboo coral. You have any idea how high that is, Pilot?
Yeah. At least 6 feet.
At least 6 feet, yeah. Jeez.
We're about 9 feet tall. It's like,
wow.
In my light bars, I bet it's close to 8. Maybe.
So that bamboo whip is taller than we are, Scott, by a couple feet. So that's a tall one.
It's right about, I'd say 9 feet.
Yeah,
it's right on my light bar there.
It's right at the light bar. That's huge.
Another bamboo. I wonder if they're two of the same thing, and one is just much older than the other.
You mean the little one with the curl in it, Scott, or is that the?
So, Scott, one other thing that I can throw out to you and Tim, who both noticed it. So the first thing is that the specimen we collected is actually smaller. It's a juvenile, and it does seem to be missing some of the polyps down near the base. But you're right; it is apparently climbed up at least halfway along the colony without any apparent damage. We'll have to actually look at the specimen to see if there's any evidence that may have been obscured by the camera angles or so forth. So, good observation. Something to think about. Thank you.
All right, how much time we got? Is it time to pack up?
You can take another 45 seconds if you want.
Okay. So
Last views.
So, Sirius turns to port.
Okay, we're about ready to start
zero sound, I
the
think.
post-dive, pre-dive. Well, not the post-dive, we did that already, so it'll be a pre-dive for tomorrow. Mashkor's here
we should do
already,
it. Half-time
and
series
he's got
support.
some really beautiful imagery. We're not quite ready to change over yet, particularly now, and we're seeing so much good stuff
Is
all
there
over the
still
log
lights,
still.
Josh?
But as soon as they pull off, Mashkor is ready to go, and we'll fold right in. That's quite a red colony there. Is that a Paragorgia? I wonder if we could take a quick zoom on that red one there, if we have a chance.
Yeah. Video snap.
Do a snap, yeah.
Probably just it's a corallium on end. Okay. Yeah. No. It's Paragorgia. Wow, okay, so we haven't seen a totally unzoanthidid Paragorgia
Yeah,
today.
that's weird. And is it denuded or is it just white on one branch?
No, it's something behind it.
Oh, something else.
Yeah,
Oh,
this guy is in pristine shape.
That's a bamboo coral behind it, Christmas.
Oh yeah, they just pointed it out to me. Thank you.
All right, pilots, that's about it. Time to come up.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right, video. Thanks. Running out of time.
There we are.
Yeah, that was a way to finish it on a beautiful coral like that. And it'll be kind of interesting as we pull off just to see what we can see in the distance. Just because we're seeing some, again, some more of these big, huge bamboo
Yeah,
corals.
there's a big whip back there.
Oh, yeah, huge
A
whip.
monster.
Look at
Wow.
that.
Shilling looks like it's in a good spot, I think.
This is, again, kind of a unique composition of
Yeah, I
members.
started this
We
morning,
see
so it's
something
probably
different every one of these
pristine position.
things where they'll a lot of the same characters, but they're in different. Somebody like shook them all up,
Oh yeah.
and then you only took out 10 out of the 30 that you had in the jar, and it can all be a different group of 10.
Yeah, we're all stowed.
All right, go ahead and come up a little bit, and then
So
you turn to port.
I need to turn to port.
I'll stay right here, and then come up.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna ascend and then turn the port.
I'm in auto depth. It's 1974.
Delta 20, coming to port.
So we're sort of ascending right along the ridge crest again. Let's
All right,
keep this
I'm
going
in
for
line
as
with the
long as
ship.
we can see stuff on the bottom.
Copy. I'm
I'll
pushing.
wait until you ascend.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice that the corals were in spits and spats, but they continued all along the full course of the dive today. There's a couple barren spots in here, and then we get pulses, but they're along this ridge for sure.
Yeah. Nice assortment, and it looks like they're. I don't know necessarily if the relative low abundance is any indication, but at least it's starting to have sort of an associate fauna. Because I remember the thing that was the most evident from watching the early part of the dive was we didn't see a lot of associates or anything on any of those corals.
So we're going to go immediately right in